It's Monday morning.
Woo!
Good morning, SPTV, and hello again, Karen.
Hello, Nick. We shouldn't keep meeting like this, but I absolutely love it. So I'm going
I know,
to
me
continue to
too.
do it.
Good morning, my lovely, and good morning to everyone joining us on Facebook, YouTube, the website, anywhere you are watching. You are more than welcome. It is Monday morning. It is start your day. It is going to be a great show, I know. And
Absolutely.
welcome to one and all. A quick reminder. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, react. Leave us comments. Let us know what you want to talk about. Let us know where we're going. We'll kick you off. We always
Yes.
do. But you guide the direction and where it goes and see where we go from. We're going to be doing messages throughout the show. We're going to be chatting. We're going to be talking about all the things that are going on, giving a few plugs here and there and everywhere, but mostly having an uplifting Monday morning to let people know that spirit is alive and kicking and giving us uplift, guidance, direction, hope, and joy.
Oh, I love your intros. And we need to hear from you. We want you to say hello to us. We want your comments. It's an interactive experience, this show. So, talk to us because we love to hear from you. It's important that you do that. It really is.
Absolutely, really, really is. So, Karen, what have you been up to?
Well, I had a lovely demonstration on Saturday night in a Zoom room, which I really enjoyed. And then I was supposed to be going to a church yesterday face to face to do a service. But because of this very unusual inclement weather, the church decided to not open because of the weather conditions. And I know there's been flooding in East and West Sussex. I'm not sure what it's been like where you are, Nick, but I know did affect some churches around our area yesterday, so they
Yeah,
couldn't open. So,
absolutely. I'll be honest with you, where I am, we're very, very lucky. I live in something called the Fens,
right.
and the Fens used to be marsh and swampland until a Dutchman came locally and installed pumps and drained all of the land. But Littleport, where I live, was actually an island
Oh,
before then. So we're a little bit above sea level. So we do quite well. And because we're in the middle of a landmass, I call it the cheek of the United Kingdom.
mm,
East Anglia is this huge bulb on the back of the UK. Because we're right smack dab in the centre of that, the weather really never tends to get us. People will say, "Oh my God, we've just had 6 foot of snow, and we can't go anywhere." And I'll look out, and there might be a dusting on the floor, and I still have to go out. But we get when we get it, it's really really bad. But
mm,
for the most part, especially when it comes to flooding, we live near a huge floodplain, so occasionally we're cut off
yeah.
from one of the near villages, but that's about as bad as it gets because the Isle of Ely, which is featured in a very popular computer game about Vikings,
Oh,
um, the Isle of Ely was the main local town, and that was Ireland, and we were one of the offshoot islands that was formed as a town by King Canute.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
we're getting a history lesson this
I
morning.
know,
I
I
love a bit
know.
of history. I think
Well, I
it's
think
really
it's
important.
important to.
Yeah,
I think it's really important to know the history of anything you're involved in, so
yeah,
that you can ensure that you recognize, how you got here, where you're going,
yeah.
and also so you can avoid the mistakes of the past.
Yes, that's true.
Um,
That's
you know,
true.
more on that later because I feel a link coming in there. But
Absolutely.
Queen of the Links crown back or tiara. But yeah, it's really really good to be back on with you, my love. It's been such fun
It
seeing
has.
you on our Monday mornings, and of course we're joined by lots of other people. We've got the lovely Richard in the background, keeping us on track, keeping us
Yes.
on point, keeping us on direction. So before he steps in and says, "All right, Nick, enough of the History Channel," let's say good morning to some people.
Absolutely. Good morning. Good morning, Stace. Lovely to see you.
Morning, my darling. And of course, Terry. Good morning, Terry.
Morning, Terry. All these lovely people. Oh, morning,
no.
Amanda.
Morning, darling. And of course, Richard's on his own today. He hasn't got his co-host. So,
No, they've gone
Leslie
back to
Lang, good
school.
morning to you.
Morning, Leslie. Yes, the co-hosts are at school today.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Susan,
Oh, sorry. No,
producers.
they're producers.
Yeah.
Oh, I stand corrected.
Well, a couple of years, you never know. Susan, good morning to you. Lovely horse there. Oh, isn't she
Oh, gorgeous. Really lovely. Hello, Rebecca. Lovely to see you again.
Morning, darling. And Mother.
Oh, hello, Linda.
She thought I'd fell asleep this morning, so decided to come and try and wake me up.
Oh, did she? Oh,
Yeah.
that's good then. Good job she's on the ball, Nick, I have to say.
Absolutely.
Hello, Kelly. Lovely to see you.
Morning, darling. And Natasha Singh, good morning to you.
Morning, Natasha. Oh, hello, Neil. He told me he was going to come on.
Yeah, good morning, Neil. And Mal Whitehall, good morning to you.
Morning, Mal. Hi, Brenda. Nice to see you. Oh, I love your pumpkin and your cat.
Gorgeous, isn't it? Jasmine sending love and healing light from New Zealand, no less.
Yes. Hello, Joseph.
Morning.
Lovely to see you.
And Shawana Skinner.
Hello,
good morning
Shawana.
to you.
Hello, Nancy. Lovely to see you.
And Dawny, of course, good morning to you.
Morning, Dawny. Oh, morning, Anne.
Good morning. Love those rainbow hearts.
We're still getting some of the pumpkin vibe from the weekend.
We are.
Yeah.
And of course, Kaza is in the house.
Absolutely. Hello, Martina. Oh, look at that gorgeous picture. Oh, lovely. Hello, Alison.
Another one.
I love
Ontario,
all the pictures.
Canada.
I love all the pictures. Hello, Adi.
Morning.
Nice to see you.
Morning, Adi. And
Clara. Clara.
Clara.
Another friend. Oh, lovely. Our girls are back at school. I'm sure they would have preferred staying home, hoping co-producer. And say hello to you both. Well, we say hello to them, Terry. Yes. And yes, we'd love to have them again.
Yeah, definitely. Tell them whenever they're ready. Well, good morning to everyone, and good morning to everyone who we haven't said hello to. I know it feels like we're ignoring you, but if we said hello to everyone, we'd miss you, and we wouldn't get any work done. And what we're going to try and do today is give messages throughout the whole show. Rather than lump it all in at the end, we're going to dive in and give messages out throughout the show. During the conversations, when you make a comment, if we're drawn to you when we read your comment, if you direct us and we're drawn to you when you direct us, we're both privileged, Clara. I know we are privileged,
yes,
Clara.
We are. Oh, I love Clara. She's a good friend.
Bless her. We are, and it is. You know what? In all seriousness, it is a privilege to come on and share people's day, to give them a kickstart, to meet new names and new people. Like, for instance, Lisa Perkins on YouTube watching right now. Good morning to you.
Hello, Lisa.
And of course, Wendy Payne's in the background saying hello of Facebook. Good morning to you with your big shiny heart. It's really, really important to acknowledge that it is a privilege to be a part of something like this. In all seriousness,
it is.
Because we are in a lucky position where we've had this opportunity to come together on a Monday morning to work with Richard and his other co-hosts when they're available, because it's a very busy schedule that they've got with their other things that they've got going on. Wow.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Well found.
Here, then?
Hello, Kaza. I'm coming to you. You know, so it is an absolute privilege, and I think what we need to always remember is that weight of responsibility involved within that privilege.
Mm.
And, one of the workshops that I did last week, it was more of a debate than a workshop, an interactive philosophical conversation about pack mentality. And of course, I was mentioning about knowing who you are and where you're from.
Yeah.
And when you look back, whether or not you consider spiritualism a religion or not, I'll be honest with you, at one point in time, I was this rather demonstrative guy. Oh yes, you can't call it not a religion. Now I don't give a damn. I've grown, I've learned, I've developed. Whatever you call it, so long as you call it,
Yeah.
it doesn't actually matter. But if I were to come on here banging the drum and being really, really strictly staunch in my views on something that really, really doesn't matter, then I'd divide people into two camps: the people who absolutely despise me and the people who absolutely love me. And you know what? That's creating division. That's creating pack mentality, rather than coming together and saying, you know what does it really matter? Why does it really matter? Let's explore and understand what we actually think and realize actually that we've got more in common than we have apart. So just get on with it. And I think that, speaking as someone who did use that line earlier of know where you came from and know where you're going,
Mm.
those who ignore history are doomed to repeat it. And I think spirituality, spiritualism, all of this wonderful stuff that we are doing always needs to be careful about not becoming that which persecuted us when we first started out those gentle steps with the pioneers.
Yeah.
To not put pioneers on such a high pedestal that no one can attain, because their idea was for everyone who followed to become greater, bolder, better.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a huge risk if we divide people and put people in boxes. If Eunice is watching, she'll be doing somersaults right now, bless her heart, because she loves it when I say that. We put ourselves and each other's in boxes, and I think that is very, very dangerous. Yes, there's extremes on one end and the other end of the spectrum. We've got a question about that boiling in the background there. But we should always be careful to not judge people on first instincts.
Yeah.
As a Christian spiritualist, I know I bang it on a bit, but judge not lest ye be judged means don't throw stones at each other. It's just so ridiculous that we can't all agree to disagree on the lowest level, but also find that common ground and build a positive direction and future without it. Clara's, your friend Clara, just said, it's not nice and very manipulating playing with people's vulnerability and feelings. Just do not go back near them. Amen, sister. What do you think, Karen?
Well, do you know what? Oh, this is one sort of close to my heart.
Yes.
Because, people think that I'm easygoing and I'm soft and I try to be as positive as I can. But I am very aware of people's vulnerability, and I am also very aware of how words can be extremely painful and do a lot of damage. And I think that we have to take responsibility for what comes out of our mouths, because once it's out there and it's difficult to take back. So yes, we get very uptight about things sometimes to do with life, not just in a religion. And we cannot sort of go trailblazing in to change different people's views if they've had that culture or views for a very long time. But what we can do is try to lead by example and show people and come together and talk about things and not say my way is the right way, because it might not be. I mean, if you go back into history, Nick, years ago, people went marching across to different continents trying to say, this is the right way to live. We are leading the best life. And yet when you think about the different cultures going back, there's a lot of things that we could have learned, that we can learn from each other's cultures and each other's way of looking at things. And at the end of the day, all paths lead to God.
Amen.
And I think people have got to be, you know, more supportive in life. Do you remember, and I'm going to use this in a talk in about a week's time, I was sitting quietly and I got these words in my mind, and they're only small 4-letter words, but they can be extremely powerful. Kind, care, hope, and love. And those words are only small, 4 letters each, but they have got a lot of power behind them. And I think if we can be kinder and more supportive to everybody, then perhaps things may change in the world. And I know people might think, oh, you know, she's talking daft and doesn't. But if we can send out those positive thoughts, because if we are thinking all this negativity, or we're thinking and making judgments, then that goes, those thoughts, those energies go out. And
Yes.
we need to send some more positivity and support people in our religion, and help people to have a better understanding of spiritualism, their own spiritual, and get them to learn about their own spiritual pathway.
Yes.
It is a little bit of my soapbox at the moment, because I think people have just got to be kinder and support each other more. That's just my take on it.
Absolutely. I was heavily influenced in my spirituality by Dave Allen, the comedian.
My mum used to love him.
Yeah. Well, do you remember how he used to end his shows?
I can't remember. My mum used to watch him.
May whichever God you worship protect you. And I've always said, wonderful.
Great.
And one of the wonderful things about that is that it's inspired me to say, when I talk about your personal relationship with the divine, as you know, I'm a minister. I don't wear my dog collar on Monday.
No, I know.
Because it's being ironed and pressed. I've got about 14 altar boys with a bottle of Vanish, you know, scrubbing away at the collar from the weekend. I know. I can't afford altar. I haven't got an altar. But
move on swiftly.
Move on. But yeah, I mean, I just because I don't wear it on a Monday doesn't mean that I'm not the same person.
Yeah.
And I think we see external appearances, we see uniforms, we see clubs, we see groups, and we want to be part of that. But when I'm doing my work, when I'm doing my ministry, my main message is, my job is not to tell you who God is. My job is to help you build your personal relationship with whatever that is.
Yeah.
And, you know, so for me to tell people how to think, how to live, how to love, how to breathe, I can guide, I can assist, I can help. But it's not my job to tell you what to think and how to build that relationship with the divine. And I think we need to strongly follow that path as leaders of people. And anybody who works as a medium, anyone who works as a minister, anyone who's in the public eye has a responsibility to realize they're fulfilling that role, and what they say impacts people.
Yeah.
Wendy Payne just made a comment, and then I want to come to Kaza.
Yeah.
It does flow nicely on. Wendy Payne, oh my God, throw stones. We all have our issues. I love people. I'm not a soft person either, but I'm careful when I say to people so I don't hurt them. Humanity rules. Karen well said. I'm with you, and I am too. Absolutely, Wendy. You know, I can't say online a post I did about, you know, let he who is within cast the first stone, but it just basically had in pen ink at the bottom, it just means don't throw beep stones.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a naughty, it was a low level naughty, but I was like yourself, I was frustrated at the time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there are always legal issues to be concerned about.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There are ways, certainly the court of public opinion has grown hugely,
Yes.
but it
Yeah.
doesn't mean to say that the court of public opinion is always right. Because if one person shouts the loudest and they build up a following,
Yeah.
it can destroy people before any real genuine facts or truth have been discovered. And let's be honest, not everybody checks their facts. Because you get angry, the adrenaline kicks in.
Well, also everybody gets caught up on bandwagons, don't they? Everybody sees something, they believe it. My mother-in-law, bless her heart, who's now in the spirit world, she used to read the headline of the newspaper and then do her own take on it. And
Yeah.
sometimes she'd sort of put her own spin on it and she wouldn't have the facts. And the times we used to say to her, well, it's not actually what the story says. That's just the headline. But
Mm.
sometimes people can run with that, or it's hearsay, or and that's sometimes what happens, and it's like Chinese whispers. And
Abs-
yeah, so
yeah,
I think we've just got to, and it comes under that banner of personal responsibility in my book.
absolutely.
You've just got to take personal responsibility for what you say, and how you say it. And I think if you want to teach, and if you want to stand out there and say I'm a spiritualist and I'm a medium, then you've got to take responsibility. Yes, Neil, lots of Chinese
Chinese
whispers
whispers.
talking, and you know what happens when you used to play Chinese whispers as a kid? Where it started as one thing and ended as another. So it's personal responsibility, everybody.
Yeah,
Think before you speak, and just put yourself in that position. How
absolutely.
would you feel? I mean, I'm a people pleaser anyway. So if someone says something awful about me, or something that I'm supposed to have done, I am absolutely devastated, and I would never want to put anybody in that position. So I just try to be supportive, kind, and if someone asks me for my opinion, then I will give it, but normally in a private setting. And social media and what we're doing here can be absolutely fantastic. It can
Mm.
be really, really positive. It can bring people together. But like everything in life, it has another side to it. And
Absolutely.
we're all aware of that. And instead of sort of like going into that other side, let's use it for the positive, for the healing, for the message, to talk about personal responsibility, to talk about how wonderful it is that we can bring loved ones. Through, and how wonderful it is that people can find their own pathway to God. And if us as mediums can have a little bit of influence on that and inspire people, then that's fantastic as well. But let's try to stop all this other side, this not the nice side of social media.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. And you know what? It is vital, and there is a conversation bubbling away in the comments on Facebook and YouTube, which we're gonna stick our 10 penneth in a moment. But I want everybody to remember what we've just been talking about when we come to that, because once again, there are always two sides to the coin. Chinese whispers, we've done that in workshops before. I've
Yes.
deliberately said something slightly untoward, but not quite, but could be taken one of two ways. Invariably, when you hit to 3 or 4 people, and there was like 12 at the time, no, there would have been about 14, 15. By the time it got round, it was a completely different message.
Mm.
And I think it's really, really important that we are cautiously careful, that we don't generalize, that we don't put everybody in these boxes, especially with what we're about to discuss, because it is something that really, really does um, carry with it that risk of burden.
Mm.
Um, Putting people together in social media is a wonderful way of bringing souls together. For crying out loud, that's why we're sitting here. That's how we
Absolutely.
found each other. That's
Yes.
how we are friends with people who are tuning in,
Yes.
people who are tuning in and
Yes.
then don't go away, become friends as well. You know,
Yep.
I've got a huge number of friends who are my SPTV friends, but they're not my SPTV friends anymore. They're just friends.
Yes.
You know, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
But the flip side of that is that people see the opportunity to make a buck, an opportunity to control people, an opportunity to become
Mm.
famous and make fortunes. Well, I don't know where they got that idea from.
No, me neither.
But people do, and I've seen hugely harmful things said by people who have not fully completed their journey of exploration when it comes to their development
That's
as
a
a
love.
medium.
That's a lovely way of putting it.
Yes. And you know, because it's true, because there may well be people who genuinely believe that they are doing a public service, that
Mm.
they are helping people, but it's only from within their own frame of reference.
Yeah.
Um, all I will say, and then ask your opinion, and then we'll share some comments from those that are watching, is by their fruits you will know them. I know it's a very Nick's other side of his life day. I really should be wearing the collar today, I think. I've got half a dozen in me pencil pot. You know, yeah.
Yeah.
By, yeah. By,
Yeah.
yeah. By their fruits, yeah. By their fruits you will know them. I was always reminded that when I started in this way of life, I was told, if you want to know a good medium, go and go down a local centre, go to a Zoom
Absolutely.
room, watch
Absolutely.
them work. If
Yep.
you like it, you've spent like probably £2 or £3 to get in. You've watched them work, then go and ask them for a business card. Go and have a private reading with them because you've
Mm.
seen the quality. By their fruits, you will know them.
Also, Nick, people used to have lists in churches, didn't
They
they?
certainly
They
did.
used to have
You saw right through me, didn't you, Karen?
they used to have lists in churches of the mediums that they trusted, and if they went up to the anybody on the committee and said, "Can you recommend who to go for a reading?" The lists would come out, and the poor church would be typing them up and photocopying them. But of course, that's still wonderful for those people that haven't got computers and internet and what have you. But now things have changed because
Absolutely.
there is a wonderful directory.
In actual fact, myspiritualdirectory.com is part of SPTV, and you can go on there and see all the readers that come on here. You can advertise yourself. It's free, isn't it? It's free.
Yes,
And
absolutely free, not a
And you
penny.
know what? I did a little bit of research and looked at some statistics. There are over 400 adverts for churches, centres, readers, healers, shops and stalls, all on myspiritualdirectory.com.
Absolutely. So if you live in any part of the UK, then you can just type in where you live, and it will come up with the centres and the churches that are there. And also, if you want a medium to go and see a medium, then you can also go on there as well, and it's free to register.
Free to
So
register.
there you go.
And
You can't get better than that.
You can't, and it's really important, isn't it? That building a reputation in this way of life is an important part of getting your message out there, but it's how you build it. And word of mouth and recommendation, and by their fruits you will know them, is so vital.
It is.
And to have places where you can go and see people work, to get these recommendations, is so important and so vital. But guess what? Because we need a moment to just gather our thoughts and pick some names. There's even an advert for this here directory, so let's have a look at that, shall we? Karen, what's the
Absolutely.
magic words?
Roland Richard.
MySpiritualDirectory.com is one of the fastest growing online free listing service. Our search directory offers geolocation feature, rating ability, review system, map location, customer comment, YouTube video, gallery, social media sharing, direct contact with the lister, simple online booking and payment system. It's free to register and use. It even creates your own mini web page, which you can update at any time, and yes, it's still free, no monthly or yearly fees. 100% free. Creates your own profile page. Add social media and other links. Add a mini gallery and a YouTube video. Rating, reviews and comments. Includes online booking and payments. So, if you're looking for a medium, or a reader, even a church, maybe a healer, or any other spiritual service, then visit myspiritualdirectory.com.
There you go. Look at that.
We're back.
You know, to be honest with you, it looked, we were so on fire today that it looked quite planned, but it really wasn't.
It never
we
is.
knew we were going to advertise it, but the conversation just went there. So we thought, you know, what the hey, we know what we're doing here. Let's share that advert. But it is important to get the message out to people.
Yeah.
That there are some good, decent people out there that are on a journey, and their developmental journey is of a level where they are unleashed upon the world to spread joy, love, hope, and proof of the continuity of life, as well as, you know, as well as finding that direction of love and unity.
Yes.
You know, so I think it's vastly important that we communicate and talk and find that balance. Jasmine has just said, I have had a reading from a medium and none of it resonated with me. In the end, we unpacked it all and it turned out that the messages were actually for her.
Oh,
Okay.
That's different. That's different. That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Read for yourself. I hope she paid you, Jasmine. I'm gonna say use our cards, because our cards are out there, and you know the clock is ticking to get your pre-order in, and I want a pack.
Sometimes if you have a thought and you want to sort of a question answered, and you don't want to think it's your own head, sometimes you can lay a few cards out and just pull a few cards and just see what they say. I've done it myself. I've done it with friends. I've had friends come around and say, Karen, get your cards out, you know. So we do, and we just pull a card. Sometimes they're beautiful picture cards like we have here on SPTV, the Divine Oracle cards, or sometimes they're a word card, you know, whatever we have. So we can do that as well. So the cards can be used for yourself, and also they can be used for others as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. And if you want a pack of those lovely Divine Oracle cards, they are on pre-order. Time is running out, and if we don't hit the target, they won't happen. And I want to pack it.
And I want
everyone who has pre-ordered will get a refund. But my mum was going to buy me a pack for my birthday.
Oh, that's nice.
So I'm sitting here lonely, or Mr. Lonely, without my birthday present. But you know, it would be great if we could get them out, because they are some stunning work. Yeah. Speaking of stunning, let's see who's wanting messages, shall we?
Yes, absolutely.
We did promise we
would. We did.
Crystal Rose says the cards look beautiful.
Yes, they are, Crystal Rose. They are beautiful. They are, yes. So are we going to do a couple of messages?
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely. So, let us know if you're a VIP online. We'll do a VIP. Yes. Hello to Kayla Nicholas. I'm never going to forget your surname, because you know we are saintly. And of course, speaking of saintly, tomorrow of course is the eve of All Saints Day.
Yes.
Also known as Spooky Wookie Night. Depending on which way you look at it. Lisa Perkins, good morning to you.
Lisa would love a message. Okay.
Okay.
So shall I go? Shall I go?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I've just got someone that's here with me, and I know that it's a dad. And I feel he wants to talk to his daughter. And I feel he was quite impatient. He was an impatient dad. And I also feel he must have had an issue with this arm, because my right arm is um, is starting to hurt me. So I'm not sure if he had some issues there. Um, I did feel as if I was drawn to Lisa, but I'm not 100% sure. Lisa Perkins, can you understand this? I know your name flashed up and then Dad came in. So would you understand a dad in the spirit world that would have had some sort of issue with his arm? And I don't know if he suffered with a stroke, but that's it. Lovely.
There you go. You're
lovely. In. Because I just feel he had a stroke, and his arm went completely numb. And I also feel that he never quite got the feeling back on that side of his body. And I also feel he had issues with his speech as well. In fact, I feel it affected his that side. It's like my face is now starting to drop here, and I just feel that it also affected his hands, and I feel he had some arthritic hands. Your dad was a lovely guy, I want to say, because I feel that he was impatient, and he could be quite stubborn. And if he wanted to get his point across, he would want to get his point across. And I feel that's why he wants to come in. Because would you understand, Lisa, that there's some issues going on to do with something within the family, that where your dad would be in there with his point. I'm also getting the feeling here of something to do with unions. So he would have stood up for people, your dad. He would have spoke his mind, but there's also a great deal of love here as well. I feel there's an emotional side that he didn't always show to outsiders, if you like, but he did show it to the people that he loved. So I hope that you can understand this. If you can just let me know if this is making sense to you. I also feel that there's lovely. Oh, right. Okay, that's fine. I understand. Husband being made redundant. So I just feel that he just wants to get that across, because he's he definitely speaks his mind as this gentleman. He wants you to make sure you get what you're entitled to. Okay. Because I do feel that he would have stuck up for the underdog here. And he's saying, make sure that you read everything carefully in paperwork. Don't just take it at face value, because he's saying that sometimes your husband and you are more laid back than your dad. And he's very much fight the good fight man here, and he's really standing up for you and what you're entitled to. But he's also giving you a lot of support, because he knows how much you worry. He said, you've always been a worrier. My girl has always been a worrier about things, and you stay very silent within that. But Dad never stayed silent. I think the only time that he was silent is actually when he sort of quietened down a bit, because the stroke, the physical condition, made him quieten down a bit. But I also feel that you must have a watch and a ring. Would you understand a pinky ring that is connected with your dad? Because I want to put my finger up like that. And I know that he would have had a watch that I feel that that was handed down to him, or he handed down to someone else. And he just wants to, he's behind you. He's standing up for you and your husband, and he's giving you a lot of love. So I hope that makes sense to you, Lisa, and thank you for working with me.
Beautiful. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely, absolutely wonderful. And thank you, Lisa, for being on point with your validations and your comments. Yes, my sister had it and
Oh,
loads of watches.
oh,
It,
lovely.
it really does help the people at home, doesn't it, to be able to
Yes,
see
it
that
does.
we're not just sitting here talking to ourselves. I know it can be quite overwhelming when you're getting that message,
Yeah,
especially if you're on your phone and you're all you're thumbing away at the
yeah.
keyboard and it ain't coming out right. But that there says it all. Thanks, beautiful message. Needed that today. Lisa, may your journey be blessed,
Oh,
as
that's
I
lovely.
know it will be, because you've got someone watching out for you who's power to the people.
Absolutely.
My dad was a union man, so I was very, enthralled by
Yes.
that reading as well. So thank you, well done, Karen. Now we're not on our own, are we?
No, as if by magic, someone else has joined us. Isn't it wonderful? And she's here.
And here she is.
Woo!
Hi, the
Hiya.
pumpkin.
Yes. Hello, Clara. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you. Just arrived by magic.
I know.
Absolutely.
It's
Well, the
Halloween.
world is full of magic, isn't it? Yes, absolutely. That weekend of Halloween, the magic's
Yeah.
in the air. So welcome on, and obviously we were chatting to you online a little while ago. How you doing?
Wonderful. All ready with the pumpkins.
Absolutely.
I'm in pumpkin land at the moment. I
Oh,
have a
you're in
little
pump-
boy,
you're in-
so
Oh, has he carved his pumpkin, Clara?
yes, and I nearly carved my fingers.
It's great. It's
Yeah,
great
it's
fun
all
doing
good.
that. It's great fun. Oh, you're already getting some love in the room. You're already getting some
Yes.
love in the room.
Oh,
So-
Hi, Kayla, darling.
Oh, look at all this. They're all saying
Oh,
hello to you.
Facebook, YouTube, everyone is just diving in with a big
Funny.
hello to Clara.
Look,
Isn't
it's
it
not all
lovely?
abuse.
It
It's not
is.
abuse.
Oh,
Yeah, it came on at 11:11, magic number. So what have you been up to, Clara?
Yeah, do you really want to know?
well, come on, tell us
No.
some of the stuff that you've been doing.
I've just been busy at the moment with the little one, and funny enough, readings, as we can imagine, for the business side, doing events, and I've got a couple of students I work with, Ben and Natalie, who get the opportunity to come into the VIP last week with me in the room, and we're trying to get them out, get their confidence built.
Yep.
And show them out there, and it's just more about working. And I've started a sort of other degree at the moment, so
You're a busy lady.
Yes.
I think I do too much. One of those ones, but you know what? It's good. It's good to keep busy.
Yeah, I love one of those words that you said there, confidence building.
Yeah.
Isn't that important to do with students, to build that confidence up?
Yeah, because I even take away the word, believe it or not, fledglings. I find it very condescending because I've been there.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, no, you're developing. You're getting nurtured for building your confidence.
Mm.
And it makes them more comfortable then when they sit with experienced mediums.
Yeah.
And it helps them out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've had this conversation.
There's Neil Payne.
There he is.
There he is, Neil.
I've had that conversation, and I really do want to pick up on that one. The fledglings. I've had this conversation many times with people. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I get it. I understand the reason why. If you're having a fledglings evening, it means they're taking their first steps to, jump off the branches and go off flying on their own. But you know what? That's what circles for, because you're reading and reading and reading. You're working and working and working. You're developing, developing and developing, and that journey never ends. So for me, fledgling is a double-edged sword. Not just the put down side of it, which can be very, very difficult, but also, those that, oh, I've had my fledglings evening, I'm perfect now, I'm flying on my own, and then hit the window or something. It's dangerous for me on two fronts,
Yeah.
because it stops us from remembering that journey of development is unending, and that we should never stop striving to be brilliant and better and bolder than we were yesterday. So I'm actually with you, but I have a double reason for not liking it, because it's that spectrum, isn't it?
Mm, mm.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest. I use the word P plates, L plates, P plates. Yeah, P plates, because they're in their car on their own driving.
Yeah.
And they've got to make their own decisions.
Yeah,
and so it's L plates and P plates.
I do love that.
And that's what I say. That's what I say to my students. And I take people out into Zoom rooms like you do, Clara, and I'm sure you do as well, Nick. And also I take them out to a face-to-face, because I think it's important that those that can go to services, because I have to say there are many people that are working that don't have the churches and the facilities that we don't, and I've got some wonderful people that I work with from the other side of the pond, and they would love to have the churches that we have.
Yes.
And they would say, I wish I could go an hour in the car and get a church. They have to get on a plane and go 800 miles. They have to go a very, very long way to find churches. So this virtual platform is all that they have.
Yes.
So I'm going to be organising some P-plate nights for my my students in the future, so that they can actually have a go and be nurtured and have their confidence built, so that then they can go out there.
There you go.
Oh,
that's the plan.
Okay.
A plan is forming in the background in our ears.
We can
Do you know
sort
what?
that out. We can sort that out. Yes.
Yeah, and do you know what? I'm just looking at the comments. Here's Liz McCune. Like I say, I'd met Liz as well when I was watching on Circle, and I said, right, get out there, you have to come out as well. And now she's another one of, she's not a student, but she's been flying the way sort of thing, getting her way round about, and I've been taking her out with me as well, doing private readings, putting her in the public, and to get her up and running as well. And as you and Nick both say, it's a double-edged sword of fledgling. I love the L plates, I love the P plates, sort of thing. Don't get me wrong, on the roads, we're one notorious for beating at P plates. But that's good, because again, the double-edged sword comes in, the paradox of give them the beep, but it'll also give them the confidence that's cruel to be kind.
Yeah.
To keep them going. And it's just wonderful, because it's how many students have we seen becoming the forever student? Because some mentors don't want them out there. Well, I'm sorry, but I would rather, I suppose, die tomorrow knowing I've left a legacy, that I would love my students to be better than me.
Yes. Amen. That is the first thing I learned in Circle.
Yeah.
And I, of course, we have to be careful. There is a risk of pushing people forward too soon. There should be a mutual conversation and a trust that there is a game plan, that there is a direction that this is going in.
Yeah.
I think I think one of the comments that was coming up earlier is about the quality of mediumship. I think sometimes it's because people are pushed out too soon.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I don't think it's their fault.
Okay.
People are, you're going to be a brilliant medium. Oh, you're going to do wonders. Come on here, and then they have one dive bomb night, and they've gone, and we've lost a potential pioneer, a potential big name, a potential
Yeah.
healer of people. And I think there should always be a mutual conversation, but also an understanding that there's no rush.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say. No
We
rush.
do have the collaborations with the mediums, because it's just like being at school. It's like getting into the work. You have these sit-down meetings with everyone, and it's the same thing. And as you say, we've seen mediums bomb, and funny enough, someone done it with one of my guys, Natalie, last week. Just 2 months ago, I'm saying last week, she's ready to go on her own in Zoom, and I went, no, she's not. She's only worked 2 links back to back, and I says. And I actually said to the person, the president, I says, if I hear for a minute you're giving her a booking behind my back, I says, I will stop the full thing. I says, for a start, Natalie would come to me anyway, but I says, I will stop it. I says, because if you knock her confidence, she's a fabulous medium. I went, you knock her back, we have lost, as you say, Nick, we've lost a pioneer out there, and someone that will go out and help the world as well.
Yeah.
And I get into the science with the guys when I'm working with them, how the brain works, because we need that part as well to know, am I working in my own head here? And it's something we don't see a lot. And it's like, I'm so glad we've all come together. And it's like this new, not a new movement, because mediumship will never change. Different cultures have different terminology. However, it's let's come together and share best practice.
Absolutely.
It's basically like it's changed its rain mac, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We're getting a new frock for the weekend in spirituality. We're putting the glad rags on, and it is that transitional period of making an exterior and an interior change, because as we know, what we wear makes us feel different on the inside, and I think what we wear outwardly changes and affects how we are on the inside. And I think, I'm totally with you. Put things on hold, take your time, move steady, don't rush. I've got one person who I work with who is absolutely awesome, but is always saying, I have no confidence. I have no confidence. Because, they see people like us. We're quite comfortable chatting publicly. They see big names and the starlights and glamour and everything. I'm not a confident person.
That's all.
And I don't think any of us really are. You go to 25 years I've been working the platform now. I still drive and sit for half an hour before going into the hall, because I'm sitting there thinking, I've got nothing. I'm going to get nothing. It's going to be a terrible night. I'm going to ruin everything. I'm going to upset everybody. It's going to be terrible. But to an extent, when it comes to confidence, I think people need to realize that it's when it comes to confidence and nothing else in this way of life, it's okay to fake it till you make it. What is it? Feign ye have confidence, and confidence shall be given to ye. Fake it till you make it. When it comes to confidence, pretend that you are confident, and you will start to feel confident, because what you wear on the outside affects what's on the inside.
It's a little trick that I do with my students. And funny enough, last week we were doing in my circles trust and confidence, and it's one of the things. It's the two biggest things. So what I say to people is, there's been times in your life, not necessarily working with your mediumship, where you felt amazing. Something's happened to you. You remember it. You know what that feeling's like. So take your mind to that place. Feel how you felt when either you walked down the aisle when you got married, or when you gave your first message on the platform, or where you had a makeover and you look fabulous. Just put your mindset, or when you got a degree or whatever, where you thought yes, and you put your mindset there, and then work with spirit and use that confidence, and then your confidence builds and your trust builds, because you're confident, and the trust and spirit. When you're in that frame of mind, spirit can come closer, and it's not egotistical. No. It's just tapping into that power that you have.
Yeah.
When you say that, the word ego as well, it actually irritates me, because all right, Nick,
you're on one of mine. I love it. Keep going.
for the simple reason is we know well, Freud discovered the ego, which is your identity. However, people are using this word, and it's basically they're calling their own arrogant. They're not arrogant, they're confident.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between having to be confident. Now, if you look at Adele, the singer out there, she gets stage fright every time.
Yeah.
But does she eventually need to overcome that confidence to go on stage? Absolutely. Is that ego? No, it's confidence. It's not arrogance. And people they're using it very interchangeable, but it's very dangerous.
Yes, very. I love you, Clara, because
Oh,
this is
thank
something
you.
that I've been banging on about for ages. Because I'll see because I've actually read a number of articles from Freud regarding the ego, and very much of the same viewpoint as you. I will see your Freud and raise you the 12 spiritual senses, because
Yes.
there are 12 spiritual senses, and one of them is called ego. But
Right.
if people want to be listening to it, I have to reword it to self. It's the same word. Look in the dictionary. The definition of ego is an awareness of self. The way to prevent the bit that everyone's bemoaning is to be aware of it, to know it, to know yourself, to know what you're feeling.
As Socrates would say, know thyself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
I have been banging this drum I created a workshop called The Way of the Candle, and the final sense that we work on is self.
Now I'm going to take this a different way. One of my favourite television programmes at the moment is Strictly Come Dancing. And when they are preparing the dancers to dance, they teach them the technique. They learn the steps. All right. So we learn the steps of how to connect with the spirit world. And then they give them a character to build that character. So it's not like they're not themselves anymore. You hear them say, oh, my name was Federico today, or Valpolicella or whatever, if they're doing some Latin dances, so that they think in a different way, so that they become a different part of themselves. And when you think about it, we also have different archetypes of self, don't we? That we can,
as Carol Jung said,
we can draw on those archetypes of self. We have all these different things within us that we can pull on to help us through difficult situations. So it's just a different variation of the same thing in a lot of ways. So and I think sometimes, I don't know what stops. We're going to take it all the way around, because sometimes people's words and actions can stop that confidence. They can, and it can be, when I was at school, because I'm a lot older than you, well, not that much older than you, but I'm older than you.
Thank you for the acknowledgement.
And I went to a careers lesson, and there was this guy sitting there, and he was head of careers. And the funny thing was, his name was Mr. Large, and he was only about 5'3", but he had quite a lot of confidence. And he said, so what are you going to do, Karen? And I didn't know really what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, but he tried to put me in a box, because I wasn't academic and I'm definitely not artistic. So basically I was in that no man's land box where you either work in an office, you work in a shop, or you go and work in the hotel industry or something like that. So, and though back in those days, women were sort of put in those boxes, but we've broken out of those boxes, and there's women out there now discovering their minds and going to retrain, just like you, Clara. You've gone out there and retrained in a completely different way. You've got yourself a degree. You're a very bright, capable lady. I've found that in sort of like, I suppose, I went into an office and was there for about 20 odd years, but I did a good job, and then I came out of the office and I started doing my mediumship. But then I would say that's where I've blossomed, and that's where I've come into my own. And it's taken a long time, but it's never too late to do that. Just
Amen.
because you're a woman of a certain age, you're not academic, or even a man of a certain age.
Yeah.
My lovely partner, bless him, he's got another job at 65. You know, how wonderful is that?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you're never too old. It doesn't matter where you come from. If you've got that determination, if you've got that spark with you in you, all things are possible.
Amen.
Mhm.
I've got to come back on that. I'm glad you said what you did, because your story about the careers advisor was an
Mhm.
absolute mirror of mine. You know, I mentioned earlier I live in the Fens. It's a very agricultural area.
Yeah.
There was an assumption that I would follow in the footsteps of generations of my family and work the land. And as much as it is a beautiful thing to do, as much as it is a wonderful vocation and a very essential vocation, I wanted to do something different. And my academic life, after the nervous breakdown I had at the age of 15, was completely shot. I was a BA student that became D's and E's. You know, I had to go back to sixth form to do retakes. And my careers advisor said, well, they'll always need somebody to fill a shelf.
Oh my God.
And that's what I did. I ended up
That's
working in
awful.
retail, and I had a wonderful time in retail. It taught me
Mhm.
that is just as essential
Yes.
as any, you know, vocation. We as retailers do get the short end of the stick. You know, the prices go up. Suddenly the bloke who's typing the number into the computer and taking your money is the one who put the price up.
Yep.
I worked my way up, and you know, today I am 45 and 1 day years old.
Uh,
And a year ago, I quit it all to become a minister and medium full time. It wasn't something that I chose to do because I wanted to be famous, or I wanted to be well known, or I wanted to make loads of money. I knew the realities. I wanted to be me.
Yes, absolutely. You know, I've worked in a shop, Nick. I did it for 2.5 years,
me too.
and I loved it. I
Yeah.
didn't like the lifting, I'll be honest, but what I loved was the people, the interaction of
Yes.
the people. You know, you'd see them come in, and you talk to them. And if you think back to the pandemic, they were our uh, you know, amazing volunteers. They kept the
Yeah.
shops open so that we could
Yeah.
be fed when everything else was,
I've got to
you know.
I got to tell you, that was hard for a lot of people
Oh,
in
I
that
know,
trade, because
I
not
know.
only did one of the things that we loved was the interaction with people, and suddenly we got these huge plastic
Yeah,
screens between us, separating us, keeping us separate. We're having to wear masks, and I'll tell you something else. The flip side of that is, and I wore my mask, you know, and I made sure all of my team wore my masks so long as they were able to do
mm,
so medically. But I tell you what, that made our lives even harder, because
Yep.
what's the easiest way to do a naughty? Wear a beanie hat and a mask, and you'll never, ever, ever be seen or heard of again. And it made the retailers' lives so much harder,
Yeah.
mm.
but we were doing it for the right reason.
Oh,
And you know,
absolutely.
it had to be done, but it just made everything so much more harder, because our joy was standing there and chatting with people. You're not allowed to stand and talk to someone for more than 5 minutes. You're not allowed
Yeah,
to be in the breathing space of someone for more than 5 minutes. Move away. You know,
yeah.
so that engagement was really,
Go.
really hard to lose. And that's why I love this way of life, because it gives me that, but also it means that I don't have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and drive an hour and a half to work.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
plus, as well, coming off the back of that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So, you know, but being with people, I think, is essential, and being with and around individuals is core to everything we do. That
Yeah.
making a connection is obviously what we were talking about, and is what we do as mediums.
Yes.
Speaking of making connections, there absolutely, Eunice Spinks, a
Oh,
smile says 1,000
oh,
words.
I love that.
oh,
Absolutely.
Love that.
And speaking of making connections with people, there's a lot going on in SPTV world. So let's see what connections are coming up this week.
Join us at the Bognor Regis Spiritualist Centre for a captivating mediumship demonstration on Saturday the 11th November from 7:30 p.m. Experience an evening of connection with the spiritual realms, featuring the talents of Bill Hughes, David Hale and Caroline Johnson. For more information and to book tickets, please visit bognorspiritualistcentre.co.uk.
Nadija Bajami, a proficient strategic hypnotherapist, mind coach, grief educator, accomplished Reiki master, and gifted psychic medium, extends a warm invitation to join us on an exploration during a 4-week introductory mediumship course. As a special privilege, this extraordinary opportunity is being offered to our esteemed VIP members without any associated costs. Immerse yourself in the art of refining your innate talents and finding balance in communion with the realm of spirits. The course begins on Sunday, November 5th, at 7 p.m. via Zoom, and details will be placed in the VIP lounge. For more information on becoming a VIP, visit sptv.uk. The SPTV Divine Guidance Oracle Pack, a unique blend of inspiration and artistic beauty. Our captivating set of 78 cards combines the power of ancient archetypes, celestial guidance, and the essence of life itself to provide you with a unique tool for self-discovery, clarity, and transformation, all lovingly housed within an exclusive rigid box. The pack includes a booklet that delves into every card in detail, some of which carry dual meanings for deeper interpretation. The booklet also features 8 distinctive card spread layouts. Among these treasures, you'll discover 22 major arcana, 9 main archangels, 4 elements, and 40 life cards, each a work of art, radiating beauty and delivering profound messages that resonate deeply within your being. The SPTV Divine Guidance Pack, where beauty meets enlightenment. Pre-order today and unlock the extraordinary wisdom that awaits you. To be among the pioneers in experiencing our forthcoming collection and to reserve your pack in advance, as well as to access more details, including a sample audio description, kindly visit sptv.uk/cards. Tomorrow night from 6 p.m, SPTV introduces their new show, Shopping with SPTV with Karen Besant.
Tomorrow night from 8 p.m, Deb Clark demonstrates her mediumship by offering free readings.
And just to, make a few special announcements with that wonderful run of adverts there, just to correct a few of them. Claire Pasterfield is, of course, on tonight at 8 p.m. Karen's not on tomorrow, but of course Deb Clark is. So really, really looking forward to that. We are going to double check that, but based on the voices in my ear that I keep hearing, in discarnately, Deb Clark is on tomorrow. So I've got to get used to saying tomorrow again after being off on Tuesday.
I know.
But Karen is not. But we would double check that. But definitely. It's not on the schedule. But we double check. But of course, Claire Pasterfield tonight, and then look around about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning on Facebook to see the adverts as who's coming on. You'll be absolutely certain then. But of course,
just basically keep popping on and off and see.
Keep popping on and off. Yeah, going to say,
keep joining us. Just keep joining us.
Coming on the SPTV page and have a look. But yeah, there's always an advert a couple of minutes after 10 o'clock to let you know what's going on the day. Speaking of on the day is coming very quickly. Sunday the 5th, we've got the VIP workshop. If you're not a VIP yet, why on earth not? Come on. 37p, come on. It's great. So the workshop is on Sunday, Claire Pasterfield tonight, and to confirm everything that's just been seen and said, it's of course, have a look on the Facebook page at 10 o'clock tomorrow. It's easier that way. Come on, darlings.
It's like
Um,
Google box.
Now, another thing, another thing that SPTV does that ties in very much with what we've been talking about the P plates. That gives me such a different image in my head. I'm sorry. If any budding mediums, writers, artists, readers want to go at showcasing their abilities, then please let us know, and we will book you in on the community showcase. Speak to Stace Shaw. She organises the showcase and gets people out. So have a word with her. Anyone who is interested in showcasing your blossoming abilities, to get yourself out there. And it's wonderful. It really is a good opportunity.
It is. We are kind. We care, and we support.
Really?
We try.
And I think, as much as I said earlier on about, making sure people don't jump too soon, that is about the caring, because we don't want to ruin someone's potential to be, as Claire said, as Clara said, reading the name there on the Claire Pasterfield tonight at 8, as Clara said earlier. The first thing that my mentor Lynn told me in Circle was, our job as mentors is to make the next generation of mediums better than us. Not hold them back, not slow them down, not withhold things so that we always look good, but to be able to sit back and say, I remember when you were in Circle and you didn't believe a thing you were doing, and now look at you. That is the joy of being a mentor. That is the joy of being a mentor. And you can then use that as an example to say, look at you, look at this person here. I remember when they struggled. I remember when they didn't believe what they were doing, but now look at them. You can be the same. You can be the same, Melanie Whelans. You can act ye as in faith, and faith shall be given to you. Fake it till you make it. Build your confidence up by pretending you've got confidence. Use the advice that Karen gave you. It's all about personal growth, a personal journey, and that journey doesn't end. So just keep walking one step at a time. You'll get there. And with opportunities like the community showcase, you can get yourself out there. Give it a go in a friendly, warm, loving environment, where everyone is truly supportive of the work that's being done. And I think that's amazing and wonderful. And Leslie Lang, I agree with you. Clara is amazing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, those oracle cards. Sorry?
Yeah.
Let's do some things. Yes. So we're gonna don't worry, Clara. He looks after all that. It's fine. So we are going to be using those beautiful cards, those Divine Oracle cards that you just saw in the advert. Time's a wasting. Get your order in. I want some. I really.
So do I.
It's my birthday present, for crying out loud. But yeah, that aside, we are going to be using them again just to showcase just how great they are for giving messages out. And we are going to be giving some messages. So, I mean, there's one there. Look at that card. Isn't it gorgeous?
It is beautiful. Yes.
It really, really is. So that's what the screen's going to look like. And we are now going to say, let us know. Are we going to do 1 to 75 again, Richard?
So
I can't see them.
You won't yet, Clara. Don't worry. He'll bring
Don't
them up.
worry,
For us.
they'll come up.
Don't panic.
Come up.
He'll show us. I think it'd be good for people to see your take on the major arcanas actually as well, and how we read them as individuals. Just the life pack is what makes the deck unique and special and different. And you've got a potential to.
I like the life pack.
I love the life pack. I really, really do. And okay, so we're just going to use the life pack. Can we just at the end? Can we see the magician? because
Oh,
I'd love to see
I
the
love the
magician.
magician.
Look at this, we are. You know, at the end, can we see the magician? Because I'd love to see the magician. But yes, so it's 35. What did you say was the number for 36 to 75 is the life pack. So that's your number that you're picking. If you want a reading, shout out to Richard in the comments. 36 to 75 a number. We're then going to pick someone randomly. And oh, look at the magician. I like that. Isn't that
Oh,
gorgeous?
that's nice.
No, thank you, Richard. You'll
Oh,
love
that's
this.
beautiful.
It is that golden red and
Oh.
orange. Just
Ooh,
it's
very
lovely.
Handsome.
beautiful, beautiful.
There we go. What a wonderful take on the magician that is. So there we are, my friends. The potential to own this pack, but now we're going to get people seeing messages. Who wants to start? Do you want me to start? Shall we?
Go on then.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Right, so I'm assuming everyone's dropping in their numbers, and I would say that Richard's going to give me a number in a. Actually, Richard, I wrote that name down earlier. Kayla Nicholas.
Oh, she's just up.
Can I come to her, please, if she's put down a number? Kayla, put down a number and I'll give you a message, darling. I saw your name earlier and I was drawn to you. So pick a number. I'll give you a reading from that card. That's how it works. That's what we're going to be doing. It's all good fun. It's all upliftment. It's all love. It's all light. It's all joy. Yeah. And there we are. So pick a number, darling, and I will. Oh, bless you. I think you might. You're going to say, Kayla, if you come back, if you're a VIP, put a VIP plus a number. That will help Richard notice you. And obviously, keep putting numbers up, everyone else, because we're not just going to be doing VIPs, but we do pick VIPs first because they pay 37p a week for the pleasure.
I've sent her a message, Kayla. She's got a little girl. She's one of my guys. So
careful, don't say too much. Don't want to know. Don't want to know. Don't tell me anything. So Richard, 5. Deborah Long, number 40. Deborah Long, we are. Oh, Wayne Arnold has just put in. So, sorry, I'm deaf today. It's me age. Wayne Almond, hello, mate. Good to see you.
Hello, hello, Wayne.
Good to see you, my friend. And Deborah Long, number 40. I'm coming to you. So we're just going to get that card up on the screen so that I can see it. And and it is called conflict. Now, people always worry when they see these, and yet it's always a fact that you already know what that conflict's about. Don't panic, Clara. He'll put it up in a minute. It's the machines of technology will feed in.
Don't worry.
Here we are.
Oh, look at that!
And look at the depth and power behind that.
Oh.
I've got to say, there is an image popping to my head as soon as I see that, which I'm sure this person coming through with it, that I will not talk about for a moment while I talk about the card, has got a bit of a sense of humor about this. But I do know that when people see these kinds of words come up in a reading from a card, it's like, oh no, I know. But if you think about it, you already know what that means. You already know what the conflict is. And I would certainly say that it's not so much an outward conflict, but an inner conflict, because you have been feeling that conflict. You have been in need of clearing your mind. If you look at the image on that card, there's this huge, powerful being with a wonderful glowing sword that has the high ground. And then this darker, shadowy figure that's down in the bottom there. When we look at that, that is our doubt. We've been talking. There we go. that we've been talking about confidence, and there's no surprise there. Oh, Deborah, fine with anything, bless your heart. It is this confidence conflict that we're talking about, because 1 minute you're up, 1 minute you're down, 1 minute you're up, 1 minute you're down. I'm doing all right today. Oh, but should I be doing all right? It's that kind of conflict that we are being drawn to by this card. But you are in a position where you have the high ground. You're the one atop there. You're the one with the light shining behind you, along with many other people from the world of spirit that are coming forward to just give you that kick and remind you that you are a strong and powerful woman, a strong and powerful individual, a strong and powerful soldier of spirit. And I've got to say that I know I've been quoting like that all day today, but soldier of spirit is very old spiritual speak, so I do apologize. But I do know that there is someone here who was an old soldier of spirit in their own way, stepping forward. And as I build that image up, I'm aware of all of the chaos. Absolutely, bless you. This old soldier of spirit coming forward, and as that person builds up, it's really, really weird, because I feel like I'm sitting ready to go in a trance or something. So I know this person, as they come forward, would have been very much aware of the spiritual realms, whether they called it spiritualism or not. It doesn't matter. They'd have been very much aware of the old ways of working and the mystical world, as we would call it. And I feel very much that as I sit here, I've got this gentleman, and I'm leaning to one side as I sit, and I feel like this gentleman, as he would have sat in his chair, he would have liked a good 40 winks, actually, I've got to say. Liked a good nap, but would always suddenly not flinch, but just slowly open the eyes and look round to see if he'd been noticed. And it became a bit of a joke. I do know this gentleman was very serious in tone and attitude and action, and he had this very, very straight face, but it could crack instantly and bring this joyful laugh. And people who didn't know him struggled to figure out how to work him out, struggled to figure out who he was, really, because there was this seriousness with him, but then this joy that he would just burst forth straight away. And he's impressing that upon me as something that you're actually very good at, Deborah. Not as good as him, not as good as him. I do feel a very parental emotion as I come with this gentleman, but I haven't said dad, I say parental, because this is a gentleman who would have acted like some kind of tutor, mentor, father figure, would have been someone who picked you up when you were down, who shook you when you needed it, and just made you laugh when you needed to laugh, but was also someone who could guide and direct and influence and help and support you in everything you do. And I know when it comes to inner conflict, he would have been the first one to say, "Oi, you, get up, be strong, be bold." This gentleman, as he steps forward, he would have, I'm going back to this position in the chair, because I can feel, I don't know whether this would have been a position he would have sat in, or whether there's some significance with this hand. But as I sit here, I've got to have my hand like this. It's almost like the thinker statue, the hand on the forehead, and and I'm tapping here. So I don't know whether you've been. It's very cheesy, I know, and I apologise, but I've got to give it. There's something about tapping the forehead, whether that's something spiritual or whether that's something that you do to just calm yourself down, because that is an action that is performed. But this gentleman really just wants to come forward and remind you. You have the high ground. Do not give up. Do not surrender. And it's not about taking no prisoners. It's about making sure everyone is free. And he was very much of flip it over and backwards. So I hope you can understand who this gentleman is, Deborah. I hope that helps. But you have the high ground. Make good use. And as he sits here, he's just tapping his forehead again. So I'll say God bless you, and hope that helps.
Oh, that was lovely, Nick. What a lovely message.
It's beautiful.
Lovely. That's lovely. And also, that card is really powerful, isn't it?
Very, very.
It reminds me something of one of those action adventure films, you know.
Yeah.
Avengers Assemble or something from Jason and the Argonauts.
Oh, love that.
You know, it's a lovely card. It's a lovely
Really
card.
is.
Clara, do you want to have a go with our lovely cards? Deb
Yes.
said that's definitely
Son.
my son.
Would you understand why he felt parental? Is it because this parental? He would have been older. He's got to have been someone who was an old head on young shoulders, because he felt very fatherly and defensive towards you, but also someone who taught you a lot. And that's why I said parental rather than father figure, because I don't very often use that word. But
No.
I hope his support. I know his support will help you. So God bless, and I'll shut up now.
I know.
For once.
I know Clara's chomping at the bit to get her eyes onto these cards. So
Yes.
go on, Clara, give it a go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. To me?
Yes.
Oh, 33, please. Cherry bomb.
Ooh.
Jim Tim, you're up.
Jim Tim.
Well, first time
lovely.
here. Wow.
Well, Jim, you've got a lovely medium to give you your first message on SPTV.
Absolutely, and welcome to the family, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's brilliant. To all these
Emily.
Oh, that's amazing.
Right, okay. Right, Jim, thanks very much for coming on, and well done your first time. Now, funny enough, I'm looking at your name as well, Jim the Tim. Okay, so I'm beginning to think you're Scottish. I may be wrong, but I'm beginning to think that's Scottish link. I would also say, when I look at this card, it's a beautiful card when I look at the family element here. But I do feel when I'm looking at this card, we need to be strong round about family. Because I do, when I see the card and when I look at the children here, we do have the difference in ages. I'll look at the structure, and when I'm looking at the structure around about the family element here, I feel when I look at that, the feminine part is actually been taken away. Would that make sense? Because I feel the head of the family isn't there so much. I also want to say, when I'm looking at that card as well, when I get into the wings of the family, I know you're having to be the backbone at a moment, because when I look at the colours, that's a spine to me. So I also know you have to be the spine of the family. I also look at the staff, what we call a staff. I know you're also having to be, how can I say, people are using you as a crutch. However, internally you're a bit incongruent with that, because you have to be strong, but internally you don't feel so strong. Does that make sense? I do know also straight away I have a father in spirit world, so I'm going to springboard over to spirit world, because when I look at the blues, I want to go to the male part of the family. Okay, and I also know as well, again, I'm going to get back to the football when I look at the name Tim, because the greens are in about that card as well. And again, this takes me to a football link as well. I do want to say as well, looking at family would have came together quite a bit, and family was very, very important. Okay, so it's Nicole staying in my friend's Facebook. Okay, and I do also want to say as well, Nicole, would you understand then, I want to still look at the father part here. Okay, and I do also say as well, like I say, now I'm getting more the communication coming in. Looking at the card as well, I do feel I've lost how can I say, the matriarch of the family at the moment. You have to be matriarchal, but I feel as if I've lost someone over to the other world, to spirit worlds. Okay, I do know also as well, again, I've got Jim the Tim here, but I know James would be there as well. Okay, I do know also as well, very popular name when I'm looking at the cards, because I can see the initial M. When I look behind the cards, when I look behind the mother there, and the same mother, it could be primary caregiver, I do actually look at the M. Okay, so we've got an underneath M that would tell me this person has actually springboarded over to spirit as well. Okay, I do also know as well when I look at these cards, okay, I still want to have that. Would you feel the family at the moment is falling apart? Okay, and I don't mean falling apart as in disputes, arguments, but I feel people are actually funny. We say the word fledglings earlier on. I want to fly the nest. So either geographically or logistically, someone who's moving in the wings give me that as well in those cards. Okay, I look at the hair in the cards, so I know my head is exploding. Okay, and I do know again, when we've got the spirit world, like I say, we have the two characters coming in here. They do come in with protection. I know one of them would not have actually, how can I say, they wouldn't have really believed in this. Okay, then I want to say then towards the end of life, as Nick would have said earlier on, yes, we look at things, we look at what is the philosophy of life, where do we go? And that did come in at the end of life. Okay, my darling, but what I do want to say when I come back to the psychic, we've been looking at the cards here, I do want you to have a backbone. Now, this is going to be very hard for you. Okay, you are the one that everyone's using as a crutch. Again, I come to the staff, I look at the backbone, I look at the spine in the cards. This is going to be hard for you, okay, my darling, because everyone's come to you. I actually want to put you in like a counsellor position, and that's how you feel at the moment, because that card as well, when we look at the family link, there's your counselling, because mums are always a counsellor. And I don't mean that, I mean that culturally, but just assume a mum is a counsellor. Okay, I also want to look at culture here, because when I look at the beautiful lady, his grandmother would also be in spirit world, because we would sit and talk to grandmother in African culture when we had the benches, and it's something that's done to this day for people that are grieving. We have benches and they'll sit and talk to grandmother on them, and it's free counselling. So I know his grandmother would be over there with him, and I do feel she was young and he would have been younger as well. Okay, I do know as well this was a sense of community come round, because I bring the family back in with the card, and everyone came together in the community, my darling. Okay, I do want to see the football strip again, because I'm back to Jim the Tim, because Jim the Tim links in with family. Okay, and I actually want to say that family, I feel like these senders link here, because all they ever say every second word is family. And I want to say that's very important. Okay, my darling. So you know that they're there with you. They know, I also know Dad's there as well. And I do know there would be the mark link as well, roundabout. But I do want to say, try and be strong. I know it's hard, but also let your emotions show. Okay, darling, because if you do not show your emotions, then everyone will just assume you're strong forevermore. Okay, so you know that James is there, you know that Dad's there, you know that we've also got Mum, we've got a grandmother, we've got family, as they say in EastEnders, all Nick would say. And also I want to give you the Queen Vic, quite funny enough, now that would be a Scottish term, but I know we've got the Victoria there, so I know there's something going on. Keep strong, because there is some sort of ties round about this family, and I do want to stand and be, how can I say, the Queen Vic statue would be lusty, voluptuous, yep, but had that spine. Okay, my darling, so you keep going. Okay, thank you so much, my darling, and love from the spirit world, and love you too, from James.
Oh, Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely, Clara. I love watching you. I love watching you work. I really do. It's lovely.
I'm
Oh,
nervous. See, it never goes away.
it never does. But you're amongst friends. You're amongst friends.
Kayla's
Richard.
back.
Oh, Kayla's back. Okay. All right then. Shall I do Kay? I'll do Kayla.
Yeah,
I'll do Kayla. All right then. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I know.
We know.
We know.
Don't panic. Whatever you do when this comes up on screen, do not panic, all right? Okay.
Don't panic, Mr. Mannering, as they say. Right, okay. We're on the same wavelength, Richard.
Any of you call me a stupid boy, I'm walking.
I say.
Oh, I know. I love that.
The first thing I've got in my head is when I look at that card is a marriage made in heaven, and I just feel that there are two people in the spirit world that had a wonderful marriage and are now are in heaven. And would you understand too? And I do feel it's grandparents in the spirit world, Kayla. So just let me know if you understand that. And I just got this wonderful feeling of so much love coming, and I feel that they would have played off against each other. They would have been on the same wavelength, where one would have said something and the other would have finished the sentences. That's what I feel. And I just feel that the lady would have had a very gentle voice, because I've got this gentle voice I'm hearing in my mind. And I just get the sense that she would have said, don't worry, love, everything's going to be okay. And I just feel that she just wants to say that to you now. Okay. And I also feel that you looked up to this couple, Kayla. I feel that they were like your benchmark in life. They were there for you. They had those words of wisdom that only grandparents used to have. And it's sort of taken me to, I feel that family is very important here. And because my mind is now going to, right, okay, I have one side, each grandparent still here. Okay. But would you understand, though, that one of them was very, very, had a very, very strong marriage, because that's what I felt. But I'm getting the feeling of a big family, a little bit like the Waltons. I don't know if you remember the TV program, The Waltons. And I feel that in this family, there was, you've been through some ups and downs. People make mistakes, but there's always you can always go back to family for the support. But they will also tell you when they feel that you've done something that they're not particularly pleased with, or they'll tell you as it is. And I do feel that the grandparents that I've got here would have told you who it as it is. It doesn't matter that they come from the different sides, but I just feel, okay, right, lovely, that's great. You can understand your nan looked up to her. That's okay. Now, I also feel, because marriage is not just about getting married together. We sometimes have marriages or connections or come together with lots of different people in our lives. So I'm just going to go slightly back to the card here. So I'm just going to link with you on a psychic link here. And I just feel that sometimes I feel that in your life, you've been slightly misunderstood, or you feel that you've been slightly misunderstood. And I also feel we're back to that again, it's the trust and the confidence, because I feel that you have something beautiful within you, Kayla. I feel that you have a voice that is wanting to speak, is wanting to find that truth and understanding. And sometimes I feel in the past that you've got some either big personalities around you, or you stand in the background and you don't sort of stand up and speak what you want to say. And sometimes you sort of like think, oh, I can't say that because it sounds daft. Nothing sounds daft. We've got to try and stop those doubts and fears in your mind and get you to speak your truth, because you do have a lot to say when you're with a small group. I feel that you've got a lot of people around you and it takes you a while to come and, you've come to, when you're in your own comfort zone, you're fine. Oh, you've booked your wedding. Well, that's wonderful. So that's also why your grandparents are here, because, all right, they may not be able to come to the wedding in person, but they will be there in spirit. Would you also understand where you've actually been thinking about, I wish they were here? And right, your grandmother, your nan that you were really close to, she's showing me a photograph of her. And would you understand where you've actually thought about having her photograph on the top table or on a table to sort of celebrate and to so that she's there with you, a photograph of her, so that you know that she's there with you, because I do feel that you would have loved her to have been with you. So she's just given me this, that she said there's quite a nice photograph that you have of her. And I do feel that your nan was a bit particular about certain photographs. She didn't like all of them, and she only liked her photographs if she was very sort of smartly dressed, and that she sort of like would, she looked the part. And there is a photo that you have, and I feel it's already in a frame, that she said you can use that photograph, and she will be with you as well. She's also making me aware here. Okay, not your nan, but someone else in spirit. Yes, okay, that's fine. But she's still talking about having her photograph there, or something about her photograph. Now, I'm drawing attention. I'm going back onto the card here, but Nan is still here. I'm just going back onto the card because I feel that you've got to spread your wings in an aspect of your life, because those wings have been sort of like quite tight, but gradually they're starting to open, and they're starting to open out, and there's some excitement within you about something. And I do feel it's something to do with your spiritual development. I feel that your wings, and I know we spoke about fledglings, but you are starting to believe in yourself a little bit more. Okay, yeah, that means a different event. I had a photo printed and framed from a memorial table. That's fine, as long as you can understand that. That's brilliant. But I just want to talk about your wings coming out. And I also feel Nan's just stepped back in, because I do feel that sometimes if Nan used to get a bit annoyed about something, she would stand her ground and speak her truth. And she wants you to stand your ground, especially with your wedding plans. And she's saying, remember, love, it's your day. No one else's. It's your day. So if you want pink flowers, you have pink flowers. So that's the sort of thing that I feel that she would have said to you. And I also feel that, going back to you on a psychic link, that sometimes you get a little bit overwhelmed by stuff, and just take one step at a time. Don't look at the whole day or the whole planning of it. Separate it down into sections. And I feel that you're much better when you split things into sections, and you deal that, you tick it off the list. You deal with the next thing, you tick it off the list. Don't allow sort of it to overwhelm you, and you are going to look fabulous. And I know you're not sure about colours and wedding dresses and your hair and things like that, but just go with what you feel is right and what is good for you. I know we have wonderful friends and family to give us the encouragement, but always go with somebody that is honest and true, and that is there for you when you go shopping for all the bits and pieces. And your nan, I feel, is going to be with you in spirit. She's going to be with you on the day, and she's giving you so much love and support, but she's also encouraging you on your spiritual development. Trust where you are at the moment. I feel that you're in a nice group at the moment, and it's going okay. And you've got a good person there to help and guide you. Listen, Kayla, Listen to what's being said from your teacher, but also listen to what's being said from spirit. And you will have a wonderful marriage with the connections that you receive from the spirit world. And I also feel there will be there's healing there as well. So I feel that there is healing with you. You've got the healing hands. So take their love, and thank you for working with me.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Wonderful. And, you know, as much as we said right at the beginning about don't panic, if you are having a wedding, it is great to pull the marriage card. This is, you know, good stuff. Yeah. Wonderful.
I
That is
like
beautiful.
the synchronicity bits, I have to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a beautiful reading. That was
beautiful. Okie dokie. 4. We're going to go to another VIP, and I'm going to pick number 4. 444.
4.
Jasmine. Beautiful. So Jasmine has picked a card, and we're going to go to Jasmine. Jasmine, 38. That big smile, because I've got this gentleman building up behind me, and I've got to tell you, I've been trying to keep a straight face because he's naughty. And combining him with me on a day like today is not a good combination at all. But he's been such fun building me up. And the name tag is in the way of the name. So balance, thank you. Which just goes to show that I need to find some, don't I? This gentleman,
you do.
This gentleman really is finding everything just so funny and witty, and he's such a giggle. I do have to come to the card first, obviously. So just going to ask him to step back for a moment. Why should I? Okay, here we go. Why should I? It's because I'll get in trouble for doing psychic, you know. But is this really great character getting ready? And I do feel that you need that balance of humor in your life. I know that you come across to those that you don't know as quite a very well balanced person. But this gentleman, as he steps forward, is reminding me that the reason he's here is to say, you are quite a well balanced person when it comes to sanity, which is something we don't have in common today, I must confess. But you are needing to find that balance of joy, that balance of laughter, because you are serene, you are calm, but you're not laughing. You know, some people, when they laugh from the back of their throat. This guy wants you to be laughing from your shoes up. And he's stepping forward, and he's not letting me do too much with the card. He says, you've done enough now. Okay, fine. I'm being told what to do by this gentleman. I know this gentleman is a set sword. I keep hearing the name David would either connect with you or him. But I've got to tell you, this guy, he's wearing a suit that's about 2 sizes too small for him, and he's finding that hilarious too. He's like, I can still fit in it. And he's just bringing this laughter. He's a very small man of frame, but personality is so huge. So if Jasmine, you can let me know if you understand who this is, please, because I want him to come home with you. He's a lovely guy, and he's a great laugh, and he's got this huge cheesy grin. If you can't understand who it is, please tell me. I don't mind no's. It helps me get things right. But this gentleman, he's just bringing forward this absolute hilarity. He's got this, you know, that there's an old pantomime song. He's got this naughty eye that flickers. And he's just wanting. He had a nursery rhyme for everything, and I wouldn't be able to speak them on air. He's bringing the fun back in, because that's where your balance does not exist. He wants to bring the fun in with you. He wants to bring the laughter in with you. So I will leave his love and his laughter and his joy. If you don't know what I mean when I say Norman Wisdom, Google it, because this guy. It's so much like Norman Wisdom. So somebody, somebody please let Jasmine know that she's got a message, and she can come back and have a look later. But as we can't get any response, there's no point reading for you if you're not here. But he's here waiting for you when you tune back in. So I'll say God bless and say thank you for listening when you do.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Oh. 1 to 40. Yeah, 25. Stephen who?
Goodwin.
Hi, Stephen. Oh. Yes.
So this one has slipped into the Archangel deck because obviously it was 36, but he's picked 31. So we're going to go with the we're slipping down a deck into the Archangel cards. There you go.
Oh, I do like that. It's beautiful. Right, okay. Hi, Stephen. Okay. Right, Stephen, I'm going to link into the cards first, straight into the archangels. Now, when I do look at this card, automatically what I want to say again is I do feel I've just lost someone over to spirit world. Because when I look at the staff here, I've got a bright light. Okay, and when I look at the bright light, then that tells me that we've either got the connections in spirit world, but someone's also passed over. I do also want to say as well, again, the bright sun up above, that tells me as well that again we're talking to the other world in spirit world. Okay, I do want to say as well when I look at the roses in the card, I feel I've got I want to say mum, but I'm not so sure it's mum. I would even potentially look at mother-in-law. Okay, Stephen, if you can sort of give me a nay, if you're floating about. Now, I'm also as well, when I'm looking at the Archangel Ariel, it's funny actually, it reminds me Ariel. I want to say washing up powder. So I know when I'm looking at this, I do want to be cleaning a bit in my life. I want to be clearing out in my life, but I also want to be looking at where am I going in life. I want to be putting goals in place, but not looking at the past, because the past is gone. And I want to say as well, even 1 second ago is gone. Okay, so everything's now. Look forward, forward, forward. And I feel this is quite, we're time constraint with us. Because even, no. Okay, Stephen, darling, because I'm not hearing anything in the writing, you may have gone or may have lost your connection, internet playing up. So what I'll do is I'll cut the reading at the moment because I don't want someone else to lose opportunity. Okay, darling. So if you come back, fair play. Thanks for listening if you come back. Yep, 33. I don't know if I've done that actually.
I think you did.
Yeah, but it shifts, doesn't it?
Oh,
So
right. Okay, that's fine.
Did you say, Kelly? Sorry, my earphones are breaking in and out.
yeah.
Hi, Kelly.
Kelly McKeating, if you give a number, then Clara can give you a reading because you can then pick a card. So between 36 and 75, chuck a number in the comments so we know you're still there, and then Richard can bring up a card for you, and Clara can give it a reading for you. The Now, these cards, obviously, that we're using are the Divine Oracle cards that are available to pre-order, that have been created by SPTV, by Richard. We're using the Life deck today, which is the unique part of that particular deck. It's something new and different and lovely. There's 75 cards, so you've got the major and minor arcana, you've got the archangels, which obviously you've just seen, Ariel, and then there's the life cards, which are all those various different situations within life. Beautiful cards. And if you want a pack, there's a link available to go and pre-order so that you can get a deck. If they do not hit the target, they can't be created, so everyone would get their money back, which is great, but it means we don't get our cards, which would be a disappointment. So
Yeah.
buy them for it. Look, brilliant. It's the 30th of October. Come on, it's nearly Christmas. Buy presents. And there we go, Clara. There. Oh wow, there's the card.
Oh, I do like that card. Okay, hi Kelly, and thanks for giving the number. So, right, so Kelly McKeaton, hi Kelly, lovely. Right, so when I look at 37, and it's quite interesting, also having that number with anxiety card, I would actually say if we've got anything but anxiety, I actually want to go the opposite and say, do you know what, you've gained a lot of your confidence at the moment, because the blue really sparks out to me. And when I get into the blue colours, that is quite a confident colour. Okay, I do want to say as well, when I've got this card here, that there's so much going on in life at the moment, because I like I say, I've got blue, gold, white, I've got dark blue. I actually know as well, there's so much going on in life at the moment, and you've took your confidence trying to put things in place. Now, the card also reminds me of, funny enough, the Matrix. Okay, because when I look at that, I've got Close Encounters of the Third Kind, I've got the Matrix, I've got everything in this card, so I know you're looking at the world through different eyes. Would that make sense? I also know we're at the stage again, as most people are, what's out there, what's happening, but how do we work in the medium link? How do we work in the psychic link? And I know at the moment you're questioning a lot of things, because again, I'm getting into, when I look at the top of the card, that actually looks like 5D to me. So we'd say someone's looking at the 5D, the higher beings. Wait a minute, where is science going in this world as well? I also want to say, when I have the blues in the card, I do want to feel I have a man in spirit world, because it's a very masculine man I see here. And I also know as well this man would have been granddad, because I've just looked at the children down the bottom of your card. Now, would it make sense that I have a grandfather in spirit world? I do want to see this grandfather as well. I've got a long, lean man. Now, I try not to get into height too much, because it's a bit subjective. What we think is one could be another. But I do know this man had a spine again. Again, I want to say that's a couple of cards I've got, and I'm all about the spine in these cards. So I love them, because it's about get the backbone. I do know this man as well. When I have him, I do know I started losing a part of my spine, because I'm starting to crumble here, and I feel more like a hunch. Okay, I do know as well when I have him here that, again, mobility issues slowed me down, but I wasn't too immobile. I feel I started slowing down basically how I walked, and I couldn't walk the same. Okay, you give me a quick A&E. Okay, and also when I look at the card, I know the man was intelligent. Okay, because all the gold here give me a bit of intelligence in this card. Are you with me, Kelly?
Yes, very, very busy.
Yes,
Yeah,
very
okay.
busy.
Right, okay. Now, so would you understand grandfather then, if you can give me sort of the yay or nay?
Questioning everything.
Well done. Thank you so much. And do you know what? That's the best way to go, because this card actually validates that then. The card actually validates your confidence and question everything, because people can look at anxiety, but are you really just worried? if that would make sense. And it's worrying about what's going on in the world. You do worry about what's actually happening in the real life world at the moment, but do you know what? Question everything that goes out with all the different worlds out there in the spirit world. Be a critical thinker, and that's what you're doing. As a child, we would say question everything. When we become an adult, it's like, well, they're being negative. No, question everything, because that card gives you the go ahead. I also know as well with the gold round about your grandfather, thank you for your validations, darling. I also know as well, it's funny when Karen actually mentioned, like, I think it was Clash of the Titans, Jason the Argonauts, I keep seeing the owl. Now, when I look at that card, that's an owl for me as well with the wings. And that's where I want to say as well, this man would have actually written quite a bit, because I'm seeing the writing, I'm seeing actually like the owls taking messages. So I know, here again, a big story. Okay, and I'm seeing this man would have done a lot of writing in his day. He was actually quite a neat writer. I'm not necessarily saying he'd done books, but he was very good because he would write words of wisdom. There was a book left behind. I would say 2 books were left behind from your grandfather. And I know one of them would have, how would we say it in Scotland, a tick sheet. So I know we like to keep money tight, and we looked at who we gave money to, where did we get money back from in the family. Okay, so it was one of these ones, he loved to help family, but he wanted to teach family the value of money. Okay, there would be a few grandchildren round about when I look at the children again in the card. And I want to say, have this confidence and strength in you. I want to say, push that forward in the children, because these children are going forward in the card. Okay, I don't see them coming behind. I see them going forward. I do see the little child went up. I look to the left here, I'm not sure if it's your right, but I want to put a water baby there. And it's funny, I've just seen the water baby film in my mind. So I know one of the children is swimming at the moment. We had sink or swim, but now we're actually starting to swim our way out in the world. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because life is never easy, but I want to keep push. I do know when I've looked at the red heart you put up at the moment, I do know I'm sending love to the spirit world, but you know what? They send the love back to you, darling. Okay, I do want to say, do you know what? You've just wrote preacher now. All I can hear is son of a preacher man. You got to meet before me. Okay, and I do want to see as well with this man, and it's funny, when we say preacher, I want to look at the evangelical world. Just come and go with my speaking now and again, because I had a brain hemorrhage, so I get a bit slurry. Okay, and I cannot say that with the other world. Now, I do know it. Right, okay, thank you so much, my darling. But one of the children would be swimming out on their own at the moment. And I know with the preaching side and the religion side and family, I know this is where you're questioning the philosophy. Because at the moment I'm looking at, but you understand Noah's Ark, and I feel there's someone been called Noah, or there was talk of calling someone Noah. Because I'm looking at that sitting in Turkey at the moment, but how did we get from Antarctica into the Syria? With the polar bears, and I know that's where you question things as well. You would have questioned religion in your life, but you would have known how to keep quiet as well, Kelly. Because back in the day, we could have got a little clout in the air. I know I've got the link to Ireland here, so I know you've travelled, because I'm hearing the water boys as well, and I've got a wee clout in the air there. Okay, so you question everything, you get the confidence, but you go for it, and you should not be put in a box. Okay, my darling. So don't be put in a box, because I feel now it's time now. We never tell someone, obviously, to actually tell people what to do, what to say, because we don't know everything, the situation within the home. But what I do want to say is get your voice and speak your truth. Don't be held back when you don't agree, as critical thinking. Keep questioning the full world, and also keep that grandson as well. But I feel there's a granddaughter. The writing comes in for the grandfather. Keep the academia going, my darling. And that all comes from that card of anxiety, but actually the opposite. It's worry. Okay, my darling.
Oh, he
Fabulous.
was Irish as well.
He was Irish. Wonderful, wonderful,
Oh,
wonderful.
Clara. Pardon? All right, I can do one. All right, I'll tell you what. I'll do a psychic, just a psychic message for somebody. Okay. So I've had number 8 in my mind.
Right about everything. Beautiful.
Number 8, please,
Yeah.
Richard. Number 8. Number 41.
Well done to Victoria for correcting herself when the number she wanted's already been pulled as well.
Absolutely.
That's good work. Gets you spotted.
Oh dear. I don't. Oh. I like these cards, Richard.
Yeah.
They are
Very
gorgeous.
nice.
They
They are
really,
very
really are.
nice. Yes. Right. So, I say. Oh, that's a beautiful card.
Wow.
That's very powerful.
Yeah.
I want the first thing that comes into my mind, and I'm just going to do this on a psychic level when their spirit tap me on the shoulder. I just want to do this on a psychic level because I love working psychically with cards. I just feel, Victoria, it's like I can feel your energy rising up, and I feel that you're rising up from the ashes here in a certain situation. And I feel that you're going through a stage whereby you're not, there's no messing with you now. I feel that you've been through, like we all do, the roller coasters of life, but there's a beauty within that card, and there's a resilience within that card, and there's some beautiful colors. And I just feel that you're being lifted up in a situation around you at the moment. And I just feel that you're feeling a sense of peace and a sense of peace and a sense of strength, because that card, do you know what? There's a saying that my mum always used to say, rise above it. And that's what I want to say. You have risen above. I want to say 18 months to 2 years of things where it's been a little bit, where you've been sort of struggling, where you've been walking through treacle, but you are finding out who the people are that you can trust around you. But most importantly, trusting yourself, because sometimes I feel that you would have got in your head about situations and thought, should I do this and should I do that? But now there's a determination. There's a determination about you, and you're coming into your own. And I also feel I'm seeing packing boxes. So there's either you have moved or you are packing up your boxes to move, because I feel it's like a new adventure. You're embarking on a new adventure around you. And I also feel that you've been clearing out some stuff as well, and you've been quite strong with yourself to say, I don't want that, and it's going. Because I do feel that you are a lady that likes that holds on to mementos, and that's all well and good, keeping the mementos that we have from loved ones and also things that mean a lot. Right, okay, wonderful. But I just feel that you're getting rid of all those memories that are that have caused you grief, and it's a fresh start, new chapter. And I also want to say that you're finding a creative spark within you as well. And I don't know if you've got a journal or something where you've been writing things down, or a diary, but I just feel it's definitely, all right, okay, you're always buying and selling. That's fine. I just saw packing boxes, so my head went to a move. But I just feel that it's a fresh start for you, a clean sheet. And you are that card, rising above everything, floating on the crest of the wave on the rest of your life, and not listening to the negative things that you have done in the past. And you're believing and trusting in self, which is the most important thing that you can do. So I hope that helps.
That was lovely.
What a lovely, lovely. And in fact, what a wonderful, wonderful day. It has been so much fun sharing the screen with you lovely ladies, and of course the wonderful Richard keeping us on track and telling us what we need to know and poking fun at me. Victoria says, yes, frequently decluttering, but hold on to that sentiment. Amazing. Thank you so much.
My pleasure,
Wonderful
Victoria.
validation.
My pleasure.
Wonderful validation.
Well, we couldn't do what we do without our Richard, could we?
Absolutely. You know what? He is the we are not creeping. Yes, I know I want my deck of cards, but you don't have the control over that, so I'm creeping to these guys. You know. Yes. So here's the thing. We have only got 4 hours left. It has been asked to be extended. It has been extended already. If you can get your friends to buy you these for Christmas, you haven't got to pay the 25 quid. So tell everybody they've got 4 hours to make a purchase of a pre-order of these wonderful, wonderful cards, and message your friends and message your relatives and say, look, if you want to decide what you want to get me for Christmas, get me a deck of these. We have asked for an extension. Pardon? Oh, right. Okay. Ooh. Yes, very good point. If you're a VIP, you're going to go in a raffle, and you'll get your money back anyway. So you'd be basically getting them for free. So as a VIP, if you purchase them, you could still get them for nothing.
Exactly.
Which is exciting, exciting. Only one person, obviously. It's a raffle. It is a raffle, so don't think everyone's going to get them free. But yes, it's a very good point to make. And see, this is why we've got Richard, to make sure we don't say something that's going to cost a fortune. You know, or advertise too many drinks or soap products. I'm always getting ready to wave my bottle in front of everybody, but he keeps me in check.
But you can see how beautiful they are by what you know, the readings that have been done today, and they're so beautiful to work with.
Absolutely.
And I mean, the detail is beautiful. And if you're a visual person, or even if you work with words like I do, you can use that word as well.
Absolutely.
Which is what I like about them.
Coming off the back of what Karen said and Nick said, with them being visual, remember when we've got neurodiverse people out there being visual, a lot are very visual, there's so much you can take out of every card, and even for budding like psychics out there that maybe don't connect the same with the other world or the spirit worlds, then there's so much detail, and it would be such a rubbish opportunity if we even lose that where we can read these cards. So students that are on, get them bought, and we'll start all together the baby steps of reading the cards.
There you go. And I was just about to say, Clara, they'd be a fantastic teaching tool as well.
Definitely.
You know? So,
definitely.
Yeah.
Clara, it's been absolutely amazing speaking with you today. Long may you campaign against the use of the word ego in just one way. Thank you so much for that, because I am with you 100%. Karen, as ever, always a pleasure, my friend, to share the screen with you. I look very much forward to seeing you next week.
Good. Well, I'll be back next week, and I can't wait. And it's just been, do you know what? I love being with friends, and I love, and this is what I feel this show is. It's blending with friends, and I love it. And it's a privilege to be here, and also to have our lovely Clara on with us as well, Nick.
Yes.
And getting to know you each week, Nick, is wonderful, and I love you to bits.
I love you too, sweetheart. Thank you to I have got to share. Linda Brown, my mother. If I win cards, I will buy Richard a beetroot salad. Now, when I last sat in the same room as Richard, he bought a beetroot salad because he thought it would be a nice big one. and it was like in this tiny little bowl, and he was very, very, very disappointed. So now whenever Mother sees him, she always asks him if he's had beetroot salad. So that's the story behind the comment. But there you go. It's the truth is, Mum, it's not up to Richard, it's up to everyone at home to get their friends to buy them a deck, to buy yourself a deck. Student, teacher, parent, brother, sister, cousin, aunt, uncle, just a random mate. Just encourage your friends to buy these cards. They will be amazing to work with. I know, because we've been doing it for weeks.
Absolutely.
And they truly are lovely.
Yeah.
A reminder, of course, a timely reminder from the delightful Terry Louise. See you all tonight for Mediumship with Claire Pasterfield at 8 p.m. UK time. Going back to the Walton comment, for now, though, it's good night, Jim Bob. Good night, Mary Louise. Good night, Mary Sue. Good night, Sue Ellen. And it's good night. God bless. And bless you, Carol Jameson.
Lovely, Carol.
God bless you. Thank you to Karen. Thank you to Clara. Thank you to Richard.
Thank you.
Love you all.
Thank you.
From me, it's good night.
And it's good night from me as well.
Good night from me.
God bless you all. May the peace of the Great Spirit go with you all. See you next week.